Photography is a skill and an art form that you can learn, just like anything else. But like with anything, it doesn't come without its difficulties, hard work and dedication to start seeing those improvements in your work that you want to see over time as a photographer. But if you start to get into the habit of it, you will start to see a big change in your work. And I want to go through 5 different things in this video that you can start to do each and every single day to grow as a photographer. And when I say 5 different things every single day, you don't have to do all 5 every single day, maybe do 1 each day. You get the idea. Here's 5 different things. The first thing that you can do is to make it a point to go and shoot something every single day. And that doesn't mean that you need to go out and shoot all day in some fancy, elaborate location that you've been dreaming of going to for a long time. As much as we would all like to do that, that's just not possible. Instead, it could be something as simple as, if you have maybe half an hour spare, go out and take some photographs around your hometown. Or if the weather is dreadful, you could set up a little space in your house and start doing some product photography. The goal with this is to start building muscle memory with your camera so that you can find your way around it quickly and easily, and it just becomes second nature. And it also helps to keep developing your eye for composition and things like that as well. And it keeps you connected to the craft of photography. It can help you to develop new ideas and angles and techniques, and it might be that you're not necessarily shooting something that you're entirely interested and passionate about shooting, but by experimenting with those different things, they are things that you might not have played around with before that you can then bring into your work that you are passionate about and that you want to shoot. On the same note as practicing other forms of photography, studying other photographers' work is also a really good way of broadening your horizons and finding different interests within photography that you can bring to your own work. Things like noticing how they use light differently, or composition, or using different techniques. Maybe they take long exposure, or they do rear curtain flash or something fancy like that, and you can start to analyze why certain images might resonate with you and why they start to intrigue you, and how those images can tell a story. And not only can this help inspire you to start thinking of new ideas within your own work, it also starts to help train your eye to start seeing the smaller details that might maybe help make an image become compelling to you. And this can help start to develop your style over time by just starting to analyze different photographers' work. Now, when you are looking at other photographers' work and comparing, not necessarily comparing is the wrong word, but when you are looking at other photographers' work, you need to be very careful because of things like comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy, like we all know, and comparing your work to theirs is something you don't want to start doing, but taking inspiration from other photographers' work is something you definitely want to be doing. So just be careful, do it in the right way. Knowing your camera gear inside out can be the difference between capturing the perfect moment and missing it entirely. Maybe very quickly you need to change your settings to be able to capture something that is moving very quickly, but you don't know your gear well enough to be able to do it, and you end up missing the shot. So it's a good idea to maybe spend a bit of time just sat with your gear, playing around with it, learning how to change settings, learning where things are in the menus, setting things up in custom modes so that you know things are where you want them to be when you need them. Having that familiarity with your camera gear helps to build your confidence as a photographer, because it means that you can start to shoot instinctively and you're not spending too much time thinking about the gear or the settings that you need to be using, because you know straight away how you can do it. It just becomes second nature. And that just gives you so much peace of mind while you are out shooting, because you can start to relax and enjoy the process of photography even more, knowing that you've not got to worry about your gear and knowing where a setting is to be able to capture a shot that you want. You know everything inside out, and that means that you are more than likely going to be able to get the shot every single time. And it starts to make the whole process of photography more enjoyable as well. And that, at the end of the day, is exactly why we take photos, because it's enjoyable. We like doing it. And that is exactly why it is so important to take the time to get to know your gear, especially if you've just bought a new camera, you've bought into a new system. Make sure you spend the time getting to know it. Now this might seem like something that you don't want to be doing a lot of, but it is actually a really helpful way to start seeing your progress as a photographer over the years. And that is going back through your old photos and starting to re-edit some of them. It might feel a little bit cringy doing that. In fact, it will feel cringy. And if it doesn't, you're probably doing something wrong and you're not developing or changing as a photographer enough. But by doing it, you will start to realize how your tastes change. And editing those older photos as you do now, you might start to realize that some of those older photos aren't actually that bad and that you quite like them. And then you start to find things that you used to like and bring that into your work that's changed over time. The same way that looking at other photographers' work, you could start to get interest from that into your work. You can start to get the same from your older work as well into your newer work. Does that make sense? Have I just waffled on way too much there? Putting together a portfolio of your best work is not only a really good way of keeping you motivated to carry on shooting, but it also acts as a bit of a timeline as well, because like I mentioned in the last point of looking back at your old work, you can see it right in front of you how your style of photography has changed over time. And then if you start to get into the world of paid photography later on down the line as well, your portfolio acts as a body of work that people can look back on to see if your style of photography suits what they want for what they're paying you for. So once you've edited your photos, instead of just sticking them on a hard drive and forgetting about them, put them into a portfolio. And that can be done on social media using things like Instagram, although I would probably recommend more something like building a website gallery, because then you have full control over how that piece of work is presented, and you can present them in a nice gallery. You can create a full page and make it look exactly how you want to. Whereas on things like Instagram, you're a little bit limited as to how it looks. It just looks like Instagram. And talking about websites, on my website at the moment, I have a free 5-page ebook available to download all about storytelling in photography. You can download it for free by signing up to my newsletter using the link in the description. If you do sign up to my newsletter and download the ebook, you will also receive a free Lightroom preset. So go and check it out. Let me know what you think. So by starting to do these things just a little bit every single day, you are starting to immerse yourself in the world of photography even further. And you will genuinely be surprised how quickly you will start to notice the changes and improvements in your work. So go and give it a go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if there's anything else that you like to do to improve yourself as a photographer and to keep learning, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to watch another video all about photography, I recommend you go and watch this video next, and I will see you there.